Welcome everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to share another new recipe which is very simple. It's called cassava cake or baked Binka Ubi. We have already shared the steaming method which is only available in Tamil. This is the baked version which is even easier than that. The ingredients are very simple and readily available. For this recipe we are using 700 grams of tapioca, 1 cup of soft brown sugar. You can reduce the amount if preferred. 3 tablespoons of custard flour, about 1 cup of grated coconut, use the whites only. You can use desiccated coconut instead. 3/4 cup of thick coconut milk, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, about 1/4 cup of melted butter. Use 2 to 3 tablespoons of coconut oil instead for vegan version. Some oil for greasing. First we need to wash and peel the tapioca. Remove the brown and the pink skin. If it's too dry, soak it in water for a few minutes before you start peeling it. Just follow as illustrated. This batch of tapioca was given to me by my friend Mrs. Sanjeevi, taken fresh from her garden today. Thank you, Amma. Rinse it again once you have peeled it. Finally grate it with a grater or use a food processor to grind it if it's available. Before placing them in the grinder, cut them into smaller pieces. Remove the fibrous vein that runs in the center. After peeling, the net weight was about slightly more than 500 grams. Now, place some of it in the grinder depending on the capacity of your grinder. Grind it without adding any water. Grind it until the texture becomes like finely grated coconut. Transfer it into a large mixing bowl. Before we start, preheat your oven at 200 degrees Celsius. Add in the sugar and salt. Mix until the sugar dissolves. Add in the custard powder. Mix it well. Since the custard powder has some coloring in it, it will start turning yellow. Add in the coconut milk. Stir everything well. You can substitute this with evaporated milk, but coconut milk enhances the flavor. Add the grated coconut. This is optional. You can skip this step, but adding coconut gives it a nice texture. Now add in the butter or coconut oil, whichever you prefer. Mix everything until it's all well incorporated. Now get a cake tin ready. Use some oil and spread it evenly. Place a piece of grease-proof paper at the bottom. If you have banana leaf, it will work as well. There will be a special aroma when you use the banana leaf to bake. Stir the batter again and transfer into the baking tin. Cover it with a piece of aluminium foil. Seal it well, or you can place a large banana leaf over it instead. Place it in the oven and bake it for 1 hour. The timing depends on the oven. Check after 45 minutes. After 1 hour, open the oven. Slowly remove the aluminium foil or banana leaf. Increase the temperature to 220 degrees Celsius and let it bake for another 15 to 30 minutes or until it turns golden brown on top. Once it turns golden brown, switch off the oven and remove it. Place a piece of aluminium foil or banana leaf. Puncture a few holes to avoid condensation. This helps to keep the cake moist without drying it. Let it cool down for at least 2 hours. Now this has cooled down. If you have used banana leaf to line the tray, you can straight away slice and serve it. But since we have used grease-proof paper, we have to remove it. Run a knife along the edges to separate the cake from the tin. Place a cutting board or a tray over it and invert. Tap it a few times for it to pop out. Since we greased it, it has come out very nicely. Now slowly peel off the paper. Now you can slice it. Use a plastic slicer if it's available, or grease the knife with some oil before you start slicing. It's normally cut into rectangles, but you can slice it anyhow you please. turn it over when you're placing it on your serving plate. It's easier to turn it over after you have sliced it. This cassava cake is actually very easy to do. You definitely have to try this recipe. Share with us your photos and your comments. Till we meet again soon with another new recipe. Vanakkam. Bye.
Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.